All right, we're back from break. Thanks for your patience, everybody. We're ready for the messenger. It's a staple game in this channel, actually. Strizer does play this quite a bit. So I'm really excited to see the run. I'm going to cloud step right out of the way and let Min run. And the commentators will be 70 Sins and Minus. Take it away, guys.
Hey guys, how are we doing today? Like you said, my name is Miinfin. I speedrun the messenger. I mainly run any percent, which is what we're doing today. This is the longest, second longest category. 100% is just a little longer, but I'm not ready for that yet. Like you said, with me today are going to be Minus and 70 Sins. They do all the talking to make me look good because I can't do that and play at the same time. So I'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get going from there.
Talking while playing is hard. Can't confirm. Yes. What's up, everybody? My name's 70. I also run any percent the messenger. This category is phenomenal. You guys would be strap in if you've only seen 8-bit. There's some crazy stuff going on in this run. So,
and I'm Minus, also a runner of the game. 70 is going to be a little bit more up in the times, but I'll be here to talk about maybe a little bit more of the technical and older stuff.
All right. So, is everybody ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, time will start when I accept the name. We're going with Bamboo Crew to represent every messenger runner out there on this run today. So, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So one of my favorite things actually about this game is the ramping of difficulty. And right in the beginning, like a lot of intros, there's not a whole lot going on, but there's actually a little bit of time save here. Even though we're pretty much holding right, every time we are dismissing some of these text boxes where Ninja's jumping, we actually want to make sure that we're letting go of the text box button, the text box skip button, which happens to be jump in this case as well. So there is this, even though this is pretty much just hold right and learn how to cloud step, there is a small little time save on this level. And so you see here, Miinfin going for these cloud steps here. Anytime you get a hit in the air with your sword, you get an extra jump, and you can really abuse that ability. So you don't really get to see it used very much here, but
probably one of the most appealing details about New Game for me is, as opposed to New Game Plus, is you start with nothing, and then you kind of experience what the game meant you to, which is that, as you were saying, that kind of ramp in difficulty and functionality, and how the game was meant to teach you how to do that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about Mega Man X, how like you start the game, like you blow up this bee, you fall down, oh cool, that's neat, I can climb a wall. This game's kind of like that, where you just like slowly are picking up new things, and you're like, oh, I'm getting stronger the whole time. So, but yeah, in the beginning, you don't really have anything. So, but funnily enough, we don't have any tools to go fast, yet we still actually know how to go fast. So everything that has a health box in this game, actually, whenever Ninja comes in contact with his sword with an enemy hitbox, it sort of pushes him back, sort of like to give a sort of immersion of something being there. But you can actually use this to your advantage and hit it in the opposite direction when you start the slash, and it'll push you away from the enemy, and you can use that to boost. So even though the first stage we don't really have anything, we're still going fast.
See that it's adopted in several ways. The turtle boost is the most common, which are fairly precise. You kind of get the feeling down. You can see those kind of pulls, those reverse turtle boost, right, where you kind of pull yourself towards the turtle, and you see that done with other things other than turtles, like breakable blocks, stuff like that. Anything that kind of takes more than one hit.
Yeah, anything that, even in inanimate objects, interestingly enough, we can use that on. So.
Yeah. I've seen a few spots, when we get in later, we have some tools to even go faster. I've still seen a spot or two where a turtle boost has been useful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I'm doing my runs, I mean, like, I'm just addicted to T-boosting. It's just so fun. I'm T-boosting off everything. Are you kidding me?
Who says turtles go slow?
That's right.
I just love the idea that you have to hit turtles to go fast. That's just such a funny concept to me.
Thinking right thoughts. All right.
And right,
we got damage. Boost and right. So every spike actually has the right and left hitbox, and obviously it makes sense. You cut the spike right down the middle, and if you get hit on the left side, you get boosted to the left, and you hit the right side, you get boosted to the right. Well, Ninja is kind of fat. His hitbox is a little difficult to line up with that line down the middle of the spike. So we just kind of pray and hopefully we can get the think right thoughts.
Yeah. You the hard part, especially when they're in long lines, is it's really hard to tell which is the left, which is the right. I think a lot of us, I'm not sure if y'all are the same, but at least for me, I've actually, instead of trying to judge where to hit the spikes, where to jump from.
Yes.
And then I remember what my arc, and that's the best way for me to be consistent at it.
Yeah, I basically get it so that way I have 1 foot on the edge of that and 1 foot off, and do a max height jump as far out as possible.
Spiked out is good. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a very difficult strat, but saving small bits of time here and there. That's kind of the beauty of this run. It's sort of like the Super Metroid, if you will, and how like there are so many small, tiny things that add up in this game. There are, particular sequence breaks that do skip a large portion of the game, and we are running enemy stunts, so we get to see some of those. But beyond those, there's so many small optimizations.
Something I love about that particular strat, while it is pretty simple, probably one that we learn fairly quickly, just also because it's so early in the run. But it, funny enough, builds on the very function that this stage is meant to build on, which is cloud step.
Right.
So it's kind of like an expert tier cloud step practice session when you're learning to run. If you get that down, you're pretty solid in your cloud steps.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm pretty sure this stage has the most turtles in it. I'm pretty sure now that I think about it. And you see it's literally the first level. So.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of another level.
Closer March is probably about the only other one that comes across with that many.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, the right room has 12 turtle boosts.
But that's only 6 turtles. Wasn't that like, I don't know, like 10?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good question.
So here we just purchased the first things in the run. We got the shuriken and the damage cancel, which is probably the most useful thing in this game. We get hit a lot, and we use it to our advantage as well. We're going to use that shuriken that we just purchased to hopefully one-cycle this boss. It's pretty easy. You usually just kind of hold forward, mash your sword into him, make sure we get it right in his face. There is a way to save 0.6 on this boss. It's called the Scary Berry. It's hard as heck. You pretty much you mash right into him, and you jump through him, and you get on the other side, and you end the boss fight at the door, and it's scary.
Yeah, that's why we call it. Yeah, shout outs to Kyle Berry Sr. for that, because that's why we call it Scary Berry.
Nobody goes for that, unless they're amazing.
I think I pulled it off once. One time.
I just go for it. I gotta try.
It is so hard. Yeah, and you're right. Did you go for that 0.6 second time save, or you're gonna lose 12 seconds?
Yeah.
So
very drastic difference.
But isn't that all speedrun strats though?
I mean, not wrong.
So we just saw that little baby that we just talked to. That's the introduction to sort of the overarching plot of the game. Is that there's a bridge and it needs to be fixed, and these 4 Phobikins are lost, and that's one of them. And his name is Necro. He's scared of the dead, and so we snapped him out of his awful shock, and now he's gone fixing the bridge. So we have 3 more of those to fix. And once we find all 4 of them, then we can finally go on to the final boss area.
Man, of all the things that you don't go for, and all the things that you do, I am not looking forward to this. We were talking about this a little bit on one of his streams before. There was an aquatic butt boost strat that was made pretty popular in a few rooms prior that men specifically chooses not to go for.
Just for marathon safety.
Which is shocking to me with what he's going to show off later.
To be fair, that's for marathon safety, because the other one I have down, that one not so much.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's scary. I mean, trying to get that one half of the spike with Ninja's horizontal body.
Hey, we're talking about right thoughts. If we thought the autumn, oh my god.
Okay, sure.
Nice save.
We're talking about right thoughts. The the butt boost right is even harder for some folks because you got a horizontal ninja to work with.
But hey, Robo and I actually spent an entire stream figuring out where to hit with that. It's just the timing on the wall now.
There you go. All right, we're coming up to one of our big skip attempts. Yeah, we'll call it that. Coming up right here. Man's gonna set up for it. Yeah, but damn dog. There you go.
Oh!
We got it nicely.
Do you have any idea how close I came to just hitting that corner?
Yeah.
I wanted to jump and I didn't.
So what would
There's a
happen
cutscene
is with our
quicker, yeah.
introduction, to our next villain, quote unquote, whose name is Rexton, and he will spawn some dudes, and we have to kill them, and the room's locked until we kill them. But who cares about that? We just go fast.
Yeah. It is important to note that there's a flag in state that keeps track of whether that trigger has actually occurred on the save file. Since it hasn't yet, at any point, if we ever come back, which at any percent we absolutely do, and go through that trigger, doesn't really matter in what state, it will cut off and the cutscene will play. Also, I can't with you right now.
He's going for motorcycle dies. Yeah, that's a strat called Balls of Steel.
You can probably imagine why.
And I'm pretty sure you can see why. Yeah, literally spike ball right next to you going for it.
That's death at your heels every time.
It's so spicy, and I go for it every time too. It's exhilarating.
All right.
Hi,
Rexton.
Hi, Rexton.
SB highs in chat for anybody that has them.
Go high. He did.
There he is.
Oh my God.
There he is.
Oh!
Quick kill.
Fat finger to Shuriken.
You need to go
I
high
saw.
or low?
He's gonna go
Go
mid.
slow, then-
He's gonna go mid. Okay.
Yeah, he needs to go high or low there. If he goes high, you can pretty much just wail on him on this top platform, which the devs didn't know he could get up there.
That's right. I didn't know it. And what did they say? They said they put the platform there anyway, just to avoid.
Yeah, they didn't want to add an animation of him levitating, so they just put that up there. Which is fair. That's a good use of an asset. I'm not gonna be mad.
Agreed. All right.
All right, y'all ready for the duet?
Well, I won't
I'm
duet it,
ready.
but you've got it.
I like Chinese food is good for you. I like to eat Chinese food, and Chinese food is yummy too. If you like me too, you will bring me Chinese food because it is so yummy. Did I mention I like Chinese food? Thank you, Rainbow Dragon Eyes. That lyric is beautiful, and you are a cherishing gift to the world. Please make more music and memes.
It's beautiful. Our little namesake stage here is a wonderful little vacation for Ninja. As we there you go, backups on backups. We're just doing a lot of movement and
Okay.
demon heads and just trying to continue to go fast. This is one of those stages you see where you're just kind of expanding your skill set. Catacombs did it a little bit, and Bamboo is no different. You'll see a lot of really cool cloud step work here.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of T-boosting here as well, except it's not necessarily on turtles, more so on switches. There are so many different switches in this particular stage.
Right. We have a
Kind of a
pretty
cool
big
strat
skip
coming up in this next
Yeah.
room, yeah. Let's see which version he's going for. There's a million different ways to do this room. Looks like we're going for original N2 skip.
It's been giving me issues lately.
That is a rough skip, because you pretty much have to get 2 perfect cloud steps and then a 1 tile, which is a really difficult jump where you pretty much have to get a frame perfect and pixel perfect jump on the end or beginning of the wall.
Well, that did not go as planned. Let's just
You
play this
saved
a little
it.
safe.
You saved it. We're
It's
not trying to
okay,
steal buttons
we haven't
yet.
seen Horrible, so everything's fine.
Mhm.
There's no problem here.
Haven't seen who?
Yeah,
Okay.
What?
So, yes, please, absolutely.
Okay, we have. I meant to do it during Scary Bear, but this commentary is so good and unstoppable that I didn't find a chance. Calberry donates $22.20 and says, "Let's go, Bandicoot." And Calberry, let us know in the chat which incentive you want to donate that towards. And with that, we've reached $3,400. So
Woohoo!
That's what I'm talking about. Mr. the Berry.
Back to you guys.
The scary man himself.
Yeah. Warms my heart every time. Howling Grotto.
Big scene.
70, what we got here?
Well, this stage is kind of cool. There's not really a whole lot going on, but here we're forced into this pit and we get our next important upgrade, and as well as we go to the shop and get the most important thing, in my opinion. Hopefully. Maybe not.
A,
Upgrade?
So, every now and then, runners forget which shop they're at, because shop is the hardest boss in the game.
It's true. And luckily enough, if you don't leave the shop, your things don't get saved. So if you mess the shop up, that's okay. We can just go to quit and save and quit, or not save and quit. Yeah, just quit the time.
Yeah, as long as you don't leave the room. It's really nice. It's funny, all the stuff that we learn and we do, UI movement is very rare in this game.
Right,
So,
but it's actually so important.
It's so important.
In the 80%, we shop a total of, let's see, 6 times, I think?
6 times? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's 4 through 8-bit, and then we don't shop again. There's 2 shops we do in the 80% portion.
Oh, yep, that's right. It is before many music box. Yep. So, talking about what we just purchased, that might be important. The 2 things that we just got in the shop that have the most effect on the run are the Wingsuit Slash and the Swim Boost. The Swim Boost is probably the coolest thing in the game. It sets up for a lot of really cool, what we call yeets. And these Wingsuit attack, what I like to call the Pogo, just for short. There's many Donkey Kong fans in chat. But the Pogo is one of the most useful things as well, because it gives you vertical boost upwards when you hit things with it, as well as it being the only thing that you can hit downwards with. It just gives you a lot of really interesting movement tech in combination with quad steps and T-boosts.
And don't think for a second minute that DK skip was unnoticed. That was beautiful.
That was a great forward boost off of that saw.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
Too high.
You tried for the setup.
I tried.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
So that's called the God Yeet. That's our first Yeet in any percent. In the 8-bit category, that's actually the only Yeet that you see, but luckily we're playing 80%, so you're going to see a whole bunch of them, and there's going to be a lot longer ones than that. So
I didn't realize how much I loved them until I started doing them.
Me too.
And also, funny enough, they kind of seem like we're misusing functionality in the game, but there's plenty of spots you see just vanilla in the game where you go, I feel like the devs knew that we'd have to do this. Music box, music box being a huge one.
I feel like they embraced it with the DLC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't intended before, but they were like, you know what? Okay.
All right.
Here's our
What we got here?
Counting boss.
Counting's hard.
It is hard. Can you count to 7, chat? 4, 5, 6, 7. You did it! Yay! So, so we hit him 7 times. We make sure that the 8th hit is on the right or left side. And if we do that, we make sure that we 2-cycle this boss. And for the most part, it's relatively simple. Our health is siphoned here. That is the main thing. You want to make sure that at the end of this first phase that you have 2 health, because what happens next is we kill this golem. I'm so sorry. You worked so hard. 2,000 years, by the way. Now he's going to go up, right, or left, and that's why we want the 1 health. Because he's going to ram right into you sometimes, and you have that nice health buffer.
I counted 8 slash sounds. One of them had to have just completely whiffed, because I had to hit him 8 times and then the shuriken. That didn't sound right.
Yeah, he control you. He's not very nice.
Yes, you certainly can. And then all you aim for any kind of speed up at the end of that fight is to try to be as low on the screen as possible when the fight's over. You kind of balance that between how long the fight takes and how low you can be, because the higher up you are, the longer it takes to touch the ground, the longer it takes for the cutscene to continue. Ah, Quillstream. I wish I could sing like a mushroom.
I think that my favorite part about the lore for this particular stage is that anything that, like a messenger that died in the close room, is now stuck in this area singing the song as a mushroom or whatever they've been reincarnated as. It's just horrifying. They're just stuck in the background singing.
Yeah, you'll see in certain moments during the music, the lanterns and some of the mushrooms in the background will begin singing the song, and it's such a great touch.
It's spooky.
Oh, hey, this room. All right, saving that. This is one of the longer horizontal
Notoriously
rooms.
called, yeah, hold right the room. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's just one of the more one of the longer horizontal rooms, and it's kind of adopted differently, but definitely in the early stages, the right room, just because your goal was just to never stop going right. That's funny. That's funny enough changed quite a bit since turtle boosting has become more popular.
Right, yeah, because it literally was dubbed like hold right the room, yeah, until we were like, oh wait, we can slap every turtle. Okay, fine, that room's really cool. Never mind.
Yeah, there was a whole super sassy like blurb about it. Did you know that you can get to this room optimally by just holding right? It's now no longer true.
Yeah, it was a great meme.
Oh, beautiful climb. It's a bunch of like neat rooms. I remember when it came to casual play, Quill's Room was that first stage for me where I went, man, this is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to put everything together, because here it's like they don't really give you anything extra. They're just like, okay, here you go, you can climb walls. Now you've gotten used to the mechanics of the game. Here's just more of them rapidly.
Yeah,
there's
those
just so
mushrooms
much
mess
more
around.
things running at you in this stage. The spikes, the enemies. I don't want to talk about spikes. The bully room. Ay, 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 ay.
Bully. That's one. That's two.
Oh,
Almost.
Okay, we're living.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all you want, that room.
Yeah. A little extra bullying there. Yeah. The typical amount of hits in that room just to get through it fast is two. Some folks have pulled off one hitters, and those are god tier.
Ooh,
Oh,
very
good
nice
job.
left side.
I'm not fast enough to do right side on that.
Going on the right side, you have to be basically Tazbot, but that's okay.
Or Cooney, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cooney,
He was at least the first I've
Grond.
seen who done it.
Yeah, Cooney's the one that said that. Grond and Alpha have kind of like been like, whee!
So this is Queen of Quills. She is a very annoying boss. Very actually really cool to do properly. So the way the fight's supposed to happen, she's done a really good job heading her off those rings.
No whips. No whips.
Yeah, no whips. Is this
There you
whipless?
go.
Nice job.
Very good.
Yeah, she's
For a left side fight, I mean, that's the best you can hope for, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She
Oh.
has 45 health, and you want to make sure that if you've hit her down twice, you have to basically have done 45 damage to her in that amount of time before she does that blast attack. So that's nice job.
The only way that would have been faster if I managed to be on her right side when she landed and I hit that slash to get pushed closer to the door, but that's hard.
So we've gotten used to everything up to this point, and now the game's like, okay, here you go. You want to go faster? And we get the most broken thing in the game, which is the rope dart. It's not the grappling hook, although they know it's going to be probably called the grappling hook. They say that in the text box when you get it.
I mean,
yeah, the rope dart is pretty
In
insane.
the code too. If you actually go and like the enum that's used to represent the rope dart is called the grapple. It's really funny.
They knew.
Love that little optimization for that room.
Yeah, the
Kinda
rope
blows
dart
me.
is so crazy because it makes you go optimally faster, both horizontally and so The mantra of this game is pretty much rope dart everything. I think actually Stretcher said that in one of his runs, and it's so true. We we pretty much spam the rope dart on anything we can.
All right.
Yeah. And here is where the rope dart breaks the game.
Yes.
This is called the leash. So what's going to happen here is we're basically going to take this enemy onto a different screen. What happens when Ninja's rope dart connects with something? It's he's programmed to basically be contracted to the enemy, and then there will be a slash. And so what happens is if you interrupt that period where there's supposed to be a slash, the game gets really confused and still thinks that the rope dart is connected to whatever enemy that you had just hit. So long story short, we basically have to wedge ourselves in this corner here and make sure with the proper setup that we get hit by this bird when we rope dart to it. Here we go, got the setup.
There you go.
Can't use the rope dart as the caveat of the glitch once we activate it, but he's in the room now, so now all we have to do is set that up, and very good. Oh, that's okay, we didn't get the one file back up. It's okay.
So the nice thing about leashing is as long as you don't use that rope dart, that enemy is still leashed. So don't have to releash him as long as you don't use the rope dart. Bring him to the room again, and that actually persists through death as well. Just not. Oh no!
I rope darted in that room whenever I was trying to get the setup.
To me too.
All right, well,
that's okay. This particular sequence break is actually quite large. It's I believe the longest one in the run. I think it saves. Miinfin will probably know the exact amount, but I believe it saves over 5 minutes.
Yeah, easily. It's huge because what you're basically doing is, man, this leash. What you're basically doing is you're pulling something off that you wouldn't do until the second half of the game, and you're doing it right here at the beginning. You'll know
you having to come back to this area,
coming back, doing the whole thistle stuff, and then the whole section over there, which is not fun to do.
Right.
So it's wonderful that this tech exists for us to skip that section and just knock it out. It's one whole thing we just don't have to do anymore. I love this setup. Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah, and you can tell.
We got $50 bamboo from Deadlink, who says, "Great game, great runner, great cause. Good luck to Miinfin and keep up the awesome work, guys. Also, put my donation towards Misako for River City Girls, and now Misako is in the lead, so somebody's causing a fight here." And we also have another $50 bamboo from Deathwish88. Always look forward to Game of the Game. Love what you're doing, Strizer, and everyone involved. And with that, let me do one more pun. We've sabotaged our goal. We're now over the 3,500 marks. Thank you so much, everybody. And Deathwish, let us know in the chat on Twitch and send that out. Take it away, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful everyone showing up and giving for this great event and great cause.
Yeah, thank you, Strizer, for setting all this up. This has been amazing so far.
Oh, I didn't.
Hopefully, we'll get this amazing TP. Oh, that's okay.
No, I goofed it up to begin with.
You can blame me, Chad.
All right, going for the low. I was practicing this as well. I love this ascent. Beautiful.
Yeah, this right side climb is really, really cool.
Oh. All right, RNG the boss, right?
Yep. This boss loves trolling you. You want to see them do a team attack so you get the chance to wail on both of them for a period of time. But you don't want to see them do the team attack towards the end of the fight. So it's sort of, you just kind of hope and pray they give you what they want, what you want. Boulder can last a little bit of time, but that means we might be able to kill Kolos. I think Kolos is dead. So now, okay, cool, we got, okay, we got a whip. That's not bad.
Nope, Kolos wasn't dead.
But yeah, this fight is kind of trolling. So we just kind of wail on them. And they do have damage gates, so once you quote unquote.
Oh, okay, thank God that boulder bounced over him.
Attacks, so we just kind of get to sit here and just keep hitting them until they're dead.
So of the three major rope dart kind of breaking strats. We kind of saw a bit of the second one there, which is the abusing of the rope dart iframes.
Yeah, the rope dart actually gives you a very generous amount of iframes, and yeah, as you saw there, you can just pretty much spam the rope dart and slash with the rubber rhythm and just kind of go through everything.
Shovel, please, in chat.
To see in that one, a lot of it had to do with just not getting damaged from the boulder. Keep an eye out after the next level's boss. Well, at the next level's boss, you'll see a great example of how iframes are abused.
Shovel, please. This song is amazing.
It really is.
This
So,
Glacial Peak. This is now that we've got everything to our disposal, we have to climb to the peak of this mountain. That's the goal of the game. Sabotage is a funny way of being like, hey, this is the end in goal, the end in mind, and then you get to that, and they're like, oh, actually, just kidding, that's not. But we're going to what we think is the end of the game right now, where we're supposed to take the scroll to the top of the highest mountain and do the thing, whatever the thing is, but we're supposed to do it.
Glacial is probably, when it comes to 8-bit, is probably one of my favorite levels. What it offers you as a runner is that kind of final stage where all of your skills come together, not like the next final stage, and we'll get to that in a second, but in this particular one, it's where it all kind of comes together in a very refreshing way. So you get to use all of those strats to just go as fast as possible. So this ascent feels so good. I've actually physically felt cooler while I was playing this stage, just how cold.
Oh, okay. See, I was gonna say this is a great level to chill out on.
It's such a really interesting combination of horizontal and vertical movement, because it's not just a vertical climb level. It's a nice, refreshing mix of both.
Here we go.
From here, we're going to see our first Justin Port. So the way that works is there is basically every enemy is listed in a pool in the game. Whenever that enemy dies, it gets recycled into the pool. So if you kill that enemy with a rope dart, similarly to the way that leashing works, kill that enemy with the rope dart, or with your sword while you rope dart into it, the game gets really confused and it's trying to connect you to the enemy that you just killed. And since it recycles the enemy from the pool into another enemy of the same type later on screen, you just teleport that enemy. The devs actually had a nice devs react to the world record speedrun of the 8-bit library, and got a little bit of insight as to how that actually works. But we always kind of thought we knew, but that's like the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I think we were pretty close.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to hear, because that makes a lot of sense when they explain how the enemy pooling worked. I remember watching it and thinking they were so confused. How did we even make that possible? And so the interesting fact is, they knew that they had to die before the roper animation finished, but I don't think they quite caught on how by throwing a slash before the rope dart, the slash animation lasts a long time, and so we can make contact with something with the slash before the rope dart finishes. And so as long as that enemy is coming on screen about the same time that death is happening, then the game will see, well, as long as the animation didn't finish, I know where to finish now. Otherwise, you get the similar animation for, like whiffing an enemy. Completely missing.
Yeah, the game
Tower
is
of
legend
Time.
for sure. Tower of Time, though. Ay.
We're talking
Tower
about
of Tears or Tower of Time Loss.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
talking
the
about
version of Glacial.
exactly. You got it. We're talking about Glacial being like a really nice and refreshing kind of recap of all your skills. Tower of Time is the opposite of that. It is a gauntlet. Love that.
There's so many things going on. Nice damage boost in that room.
Yeah, I wonder who coined that trick.
I couldn't say. Levy special here. One of my favorites too. It's so scary.
Yeah.
That's Tower of Time in a nutshell.
Like, I don't want to wait on those platforms. What? And when I found out you could just jump up like that, I was like, ooh.
This room.
Oh,
Ow.
so scary to go.
This
Oh,
room.
nice job, Livy.
I got stuck on the wall. Yeah, homie health.
Survived the wall of death.
Oh, you got a health drop.
I did.
Oh, are we going for it?
Well, yeah,
he's
I'm at
got
5.
health now, so he's got a comfortable laser skip here.
Yeah. So if we get the health drops in that in these sections, that means we get to basically just say, "Nice obstacle you put there. See you later." Thank you, RNG. RNG's not normally a kind mistress.
Yeah. What is that? Is that a 40% drop?
Yep.
Is it really? It never feels that high.
Well, it's a 40% drop off of it being able to drop. So there's a chance of something dropping, whether it's a time shard or something, and out of that, there's a 40% chance of a health globe.
Pretty sure that's the math. Yeah, that's what I remember.
So it's less than 40%.
Yeah. Oh,
Woo!
your strat in this room makes me uncomfortable.
Hey.
There you go. But it's pretty consistent, honestly.
It's consistent,
Whiz
but
robes.
it's also scary, because notice his health bar. He has had 1 health, and there's 3 whiz robes in that room, all trying to kill you, and there's blocks you gotta kill. It's the worst.
So you know what's
Yeah.
fun? If you rope dart a tile too early, you actually rope dart through that crystal and end up stuck to the wall like what just happened there.
Yeah, because your rope dart, which is happening, but the crystal hasn't quite spawned in yet. So yeah, it's frustrating. You hit it, and you're like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Also, you know what's really, really interesting about lasers here? Is normally light is indefinite. Apparently here, lasers stop at the non-existent ceiling. Son of a... I didn't have the speed.
That's okay.
Kind of just tap the corner there. You know what? The most important health is the last one.
Yep.
So we're going to come into the arcane golem here, and as I was saying a little bit before, the use of iframes and the rope dart is going to be paramount for a fast fight.
Yeah, absolutely. As a casual, oh my gosh, I remember hating this boss. Man, oh man, this thing just takes forever. He pushes me away. Golly, this thing around his neck. Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, coming to find out, rope dart's pretty cool. It's quite powerful, in fact. You can even...
No!
Oh, that was so close.
That looked so good.
That was really...
I'm
Oh.
a little surprised that the hit happened. Hey, Corbel.
Hi, buddy. This is our death mechanic. He takes our money. We kind of love him, but like hate him at the
Whoa,
same
where
time.
did my speed go?
Yeah, you lost it all. I'm glad you didn't stick with it, because you would have hit the top.
Yeah.
That was weird. I think that's what happened the first time. All of a sudden, my speed just goes yoink.
Yeah.
But hey, what's a marathon without marathon things happening?
Ain't that true?
Classic marathon. That's never happened before.
So typically Corbel would come in, take a set amount of money and/or stick around for a period of time, and then take off, and that's his payment for saving you. Which is a really neat kind of death mechanic, I think, in games like this, so that it doesn't feel as punishing when you die. You can just die over and over.
Why couldn't I have had that the
beautiful.
first time?
Beautiful.
Nicely done.
Or he kind of just pieces out when a boss comes. So if we were doing 8-bit, if we're doing an 8-bit run, timer would stop right here.
GG.
We call it, and we move on. But we're not doing an 8-bit run, doing an 8% run. So on we go. We continue on.
We get to fall down this really big corridor. We get a really nice hat. But after we procure this hat, I think it might be a perfect time for this.
It's a neat hat.
Do not have donations currently, but while we get into the Super Nintendo era of this game, I will mention a few. We have moved the donation bar to $4,000 because we think you guys are just totally capable of needing that as well. And the next incentive that's coming up a little later today will be the new Ghostbusters 2 character select. Now Winston is losing at $5 and Egon's winning at $15. I think Winston still has a chance. So if somebody wants to make Winston win this one, put your stuff in there. That's all I got.
Throw it in there.
Let's go to the new game.
Throw it in there. Winston needs love too.
It's true.
So we got as far as I know, the original Shovel Please 16-bit Cloud Ruins. I'm gonna tell you something. I say this every time. I don't like this level. I don't like. I
Most people
love the
don't.
aesthetic. I love the aesthetic. I think it's a beautiful level. Music is amazing,
Great. So.
but I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, this stage is not forgiving. There's a million spikes everywhere. There's a million pits everywhere. The enemies are in awful positions. By the way, the most optimal way to do that room in particular is to kite the spikes. It's awful. The most optimal way to do this room is you just damage boost up the spikes. Yeah, so see a common theme here.
Yeah. The toothbrushes.
Yes,
Yeah,
toothbrush.
yeah,
that's Mike.
I think that's what he was calling them. So we get to get a glimpse at our boss here, which is another huge reason why
The other reason why, yeah, exactly. Most
this
people don't
this
like it.
stage is kind of a bane and actually turns a lot of runners off from going much further than 8-bit. Because Manfred is really mean.
Yeah, he's a little upset. He's spaghetti right now. So this is an auto-scroller section, but it's a cool auto-scroller. I actually prefer this kind of auto-scroller section as a speedrunner because it's not something that I'm locked to a particular speed. You can actually kind of pull yourself forward with the rope dart and sort of beat the auto-scroller. We call that blind Fred, where you can actually continue on off-screen. Oh my goodness, this man!
Yeah.
By the way, I've been practicing that.
I was not prepared for that. I totally thought you were gonna wait. That's why I had time to talk.
God, it
Jesus.
felt like you got by the skin of your Z-axis, I swear.
Nice, man.
Uh,
So this is one of our favorite rooms.
Beautiful.
Oh, nicely done.
that
Very nice
teleport makes me
teleport.
uncomfortable. Because
Lots
this
of problems,
room,
Monka-esque ghosts. Yeah, this room
Yeah.
is so scary. Look
this
at that. The most
room-
optimal way to do that last part was you had to be on skirting the bottom.
Yep, another nice teleport opportunity here, and there it is.
Nice.
That's the easy one. The other one's the hard one.
Yeah. The nice thing is
Don't let
you
your
kind of
control you
learn.
though, bud.
Yeah, you kind of learn the rooms and some of the setups. Some of them just work out perfectly, and some of them you have to kind of coax a little bit. All right, so we're in Manfred Chase 2 of the 3. And then
scariest
like
of
Stephanie was
them.
saying before, the nice thing about these is they kind of feel auto-scrolly, but you're right, they're not really.
Yeah, you can
right-
beat them. It's just good luck trying to,
Yeah.
not look at your speed run. I don't know. If you can do that, by all means, play a blindfold speed run. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Yeah,
No,
so
there's a-
I don't do that.
Yeah, there's a couple of runners who memorize the stage so that they can just rope dart and actually make their way off of the screen and keep going. Not me. Not me, says I.
The only way I would do that, which is the same way that I learned Haunted Wasteland period of time way back when, is I would have the room printed out and I would paste it on like above my monitor so I'd look at it. And that's the only way I could do it.
Working at the car wash.
Car wash, yeah.
Thank you. Ah,
All right, guys, save or
all
kill.
right.
Save or
What are
kill.
we doing? What are we doing?
We're running away from a dragon again. Yeah.
And we got our buddy here.
Oh my gosh, it's the strongest red cap of them all. Somehow he got lost and he's up here now. We don't know why, but chat, you have a decision to make in 5 seconds. Will you save
Yep.
this man's life?
The question every runner has to deal with: do you rope dart him to get a little bit of speed, or do you let him live and hang out with him for a bit? Men made that choice.
Yeah, what's
As
your moral
The
decision?
correct choice, by the way.
You killed a man to save frames?
Yeah. And it is in lore that Red Kappa survives that fall.
Yes, the devs talked about that. He's actually, if you get the collectible in the game, that's the red kappa. It says that this particular one got lost in the cloud rooms.
Oh no.
This is Manfred. He's a bit of a jerk.
Okay.
There's a particular way we can start the beginning of the fight where we can try to get him basically balled up, spinning around an indefinite point, and it pretty much completely trivializes the fight, but it's really hard to get. If you don't get that, we're going to be attempting to combo him like this. A very particular cadence. If you go too fast, he'll sort of ignore your hit. If you go too slow, you're not doing it optimally, so Miinfin's doing pretty good job.
Or you just get hit.
Well,
He's a troll.
and I'll use this with really strong air quotes. We'll affectionately refer to this fight as that is juggling, right? We're juggling the boss. When you're learning this game, and especially this far into the run at this point, that's the strat you want to learn, because the ball thread optimal strat that we shoot for is just not consistent enough. Beautiful.
That was a clean
Really,
kill.
what you just don't want to do, just don't die in the fight. If you can pull that off, you're good, because that fight can get long.
It
and
costs you so much time.
Can lose you minutes.
So, by the way, I just had like an 8-second gold on the level itself.
I like him in light blue. Min, what you saying?
I said I had an 8-second gold on the level. I just looked over at my splits. I'm like, what?
Hey, it's that
Nice.
guy.
We're gaming. Hey, you remember that guy? Yeah, he was important all along.
Yeah,
Makes
you
sense.
might
We saw him
remember him.
twice. So
Underworld.
he puts us in hell. He wants to fight us now. This stage is kind of similar to Tower of Time in that this is another culmination of difficulty, and it sort of blasts it at you. And now the new mechanic being, hey, look, you can't touch the floor. So have fun with that.
Yep. You kind of got two different types of little lava pools here. You got the typical lava, which will be a little bit more manipulatable later in the game, and then you've got the fast-flowing Fanta, which don't touch, too hot, can't drink it.
Yeah, Fanta's scary.
Also, really
Still
funny
lava?
is the I guess the way the lava works is it works based off of, it essentially performs damage on you. So you can actually enter lava for a short period during a damage boost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not one of those insta-kill lavas, which I appreciate. In that first room, you can opt for a damage boost through it, but the next couple of rooms are pretty awful, only having 3 health. So
I hate it when that happens.
I'm going for the
So,
safe.
if you happen to notice that, absolutely. If you happen to notice that, there was a small bit there where Mint actually hung in the air for a second. That was because he performed something, essentially what the teleport runs off of. So we had talked about how the enemy dies and then the rope dart doesn't finish its animation in time. So if you whiff or the enemy dies before the animation's done, but no teleport is happening, then you have a long-winded and really slow animation of the ninja kind of missing a target, similar to that. And
It actually just happened, but it just happened also to... the rope dart missed, but the sword still came and got that.
yeah, so teleports are great, and then you can also see how they're risk-reward, where missing it can also just have you go slower. But they're I love them. I love them as strats, and I love to just mess with them. So even
Yeah,
when
they're
I
so
miss
fun
them,
going for it, but yeah, it's nice that they're actually moderately risky to go for it too.
So we're going through a lot of descents here, kind of a little mix on it, and we come to our next boss, the Demon General.
And this guy's really not that bad. We can pretty much... he's always supposed to do one particular thing at the beginning of the fight, and then based on his health after this particular phase will dictate his next attack. But you can actually stop him from doing anything. Nice corner, by the way. You can stop him from doing anything. So here, when his animation resets, if you throw a shuriken, he'll block it and basically be locked out of doing anything. So we just throw 3 shurikens like that and make sure we space out enough hits in between, and we just kind of wreck him. So that would be GG linear. And now we move on to one of the silliest cutscenes in the game and the longest cutscene in the game as well.
Yeah. If we were doing a linear run, that's where the timer would have stopped. A lot of folks will kind of run there. It's a good, it takes a 40 minute 8-bit run to closer to 45, 50 minute linear run, and then people will call it there, but we're not calling it there.
Nope.
It's an 80% run.
Now, with this being
Thanks about
since this is about a 2-minute cutscene, this actually would be a really good place for donations if we have any.
We do. We have 1 donation for myself. You guys are cool if I read my own, right?
Go right ahead.
Oh, of course.
I donated $6, 5 to Winston and 1 for Peter, and I said I can't help but be reminded by the never-ending story when I see this blue dragon.
I can't help but feel that was their goal for that.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of little Easter eggs and stuff, and I think
Yeah.
they do a great job.
I just wish we had more luck once he's not on our side. He's not very much of a luck dragon.
No.
That's true. That's true.
He's not very smart
Soldier.
either.
Soldier's my favorite.
He's the best. He tries really hard. He's actually really quite excited to be in the position that he's in. He really hated everything that he was doing previously. He's like, oh, this is cool. I got a really neat gun, and he gets to charge stuff now. Like, that's kind of cool. Who said this? Why does it say that on my gun? Oh well.
I really love like the way that they scripted him too. To kind of, I've heard from many people when they play in their casual runs, the way that they enter like the first and second shops, they're fairly like how Soldier acts when entering them.
Yeah, it's 100% like the player, like a reflection on the player, right? Like Soldier is you in your like first entries of the shop, and you're experiencing it from the other side. It's quite a beautiful cutscene. But here we find out that oopsies, we forgot to give him Quarble. You know that thing that's like important so that we don't die.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead now.
Of course, it would have been nice if Shoppy told us what to do.
Yeah,
we weren't given a
we were kind of just
anything.
thrown into this position. We didn't apply for it, so that's okay. Shoppy reminds us that we are indeed the worst shopkeeper of all time, and to please get back from the desk and put your clothes on. You have another thing to do, and it's not in here. Now we're introduced to the next important character of the game, Prophet, who loves talking. You can see they always try to appear as the most important person in the room. Every time they speak, they go, really. And so the messenger rises once more. Very, very full of themselves, as you can tell. It's actually, there's a really funny scene that happens where they're kind of not playing the character, and then messenger kind of like walks up on him, and then they're like, oh, I gotcha. So there we're reminded that, hey, you remember that scroll that we gave you? Yeah, that was important. That was actually the map of where you've been. Shoppy was trying to be a really, really nice homie and just remind you to look at your map every now and again. But main character says, what do you mean? What map? And
He's
Shoppy
so
kind of
sassy.
loses it.
He's so sassy about it too, because he says, so you're telling me that I handed you this piece of paper to take to the top of a mountain and you didn't bother to read it?
Didn't even read it.
You never opened it?
In all caps. He's quite upset. And he just got finished being upset at you, and this was like him trying to reach out to you and be like, you know what? That's okay. Just be careful. Go look at your map. Just some common knowledge, just to say good luck. But you messed that part up too.
So
This game's dialogue's great.
we're in what's called essentially really nice second try.
Nice leash.
I've been practicing that one.
We're in what's called the second quest version of the game. This is the Metroidvania stuff part of it. All these kind of levels we've been through are now revisited in different directions and different times to gather certain items in order to progress the game. The goal at this point is to find the 6 musical notes that are in the world that will allow us to open up that box that you saw in the Tower of Time, the headquarters that we were just in. So that's what we're doing now. Got to get those 6 notes and whatever we need to do to get them. So right now, and this is where things have changed up since last time I ran, which is the
Oh, he is at a great spot.
So what you noticed there was we leashed that Wizrobe way earlier on them. Those scary rooms that we can't use the rope on in, but all to do this, and this is so that we don't have to basically do a whole side quest in order to, well, not even a side quest, it's basically just a sequence break. We would need a character from a way later portion of the game in order to get here, but it's funny that it's just a very small gap that we need to traverse for a very large portion of the game that we would have to do in order to get here. But this opens up a very particular, a very big portion of money actually that we need for the rest of the run, because this particular route has changed based upon when we actually have access to certain upgrades because of how much money we get for doing this early.
if you were thinking about running the messenger and you were like, man, I really want to run the messenger, it sounds like a good game, but there's not enough bullet hell in it. Well, this doesn't quite fit that feel, but it's there. Wait for the boss. That might give you a little taste of it. So if you like pseudo bullet hells and mashing, then this is a great section for you.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of like Star Fox in this area, which I appreciate.
So we're coming through the Elemental Skyline. That's where we're at right now.
Ooh, nice door.
What the?
There was a. So sometimes the saw blade likes to touch him. So while I was going back through this area, the reason why we're in the Elemental Skylands is because there is an entity here known as the Clockwork Concierge who actually happens to be in possession of one of the 6 notes, the note of symbiosis. So we are coming to pay him a visit and see if we can have the note, please.
How did I manage to jump right in between all that?
Don't acting like you didn't do that on purpose.
I didn't.
We never do.
Also, Manix, yes, that was Dragon Jam.
There you go. All right, so that's the Air Skyland done, and now we're coming up to the Earth Skyland next. So we're just gonna make our trip over there. At this point, you kind of all these sections are scripted. So this is a true auto-scroller here. There's nothing to do except kill and get money. We actually didn't talk too much about time shards and the importance of money management.
That is very true. Because of the way that we're doing the route, after this particular level, we need 1250 time shards for the next 2 upgrades in order to do the next sequence break in the game. And at any point, getting a death, Horrible is taking your money. He's stealing from you. So you have to make sure that you're not dying, or you're making sure you're getting the most optimal amounts of lanterns and collecting, the most amount of shards that you can.
Yeah.
And this level gives you so many shards. It's kind of insane in these auto-scroller levels. How much money you get.
Although your count's a little off. It's actually, you need 1320 by the time you would actually shop, but you get that by the end of this. You will have more than enough by the time you get to the next time you actually shop.
Right.
Because you need 1,000. What the? Controller?
That was
what?
Beautiful. I was about to say something about, it's like, yeah, just make sure you don't die. So what he'll do is he'll quit the title screen and then go back in to get rid of Corbel and to get his health back.
I'm pressing jump and it's just like
part for this particular area.
That's right. That's right.
The first part of the Elemental Skylands was done, normally as far as what the intended route was. But this one is it's supposed to be a puzzle. You go in and out of the time portals and you do all this stuff, but we don't have time for that. We just go up a wall and
just dance, Bruce. The whole place is done now.
Yep.
We're at the end.
That was like a 2-minute something room.
Yeah, you end up going through like 4 or 5 different rooms and flipping all over the place just to get back in that room at a different time. Yeah. Alright, gotta turn off the generators. We're coming through and turning off these generators so that we can get access to the Clockwork Concierge. That's why we're hitting all of these separate things.
Shoutouts to jump grubs and how annoying they are. They're so small. I hate how small they are.
They're so small. They are jealous of tall. Okay, so just a little bit more of the same. This is a good time as we're making our way over to the Water Skylands. If there's any announcements or donations we'd like to make.
No current donations, but we should. So guys, donate. It's a good cause. The Cancer Society. But I do want to give a quick shout out to disagree with that recruit. Come on. We're lucky to have you guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet to say. I appreciate
We're lucky to be here.
Yeah. It's such a wonderful game, and the community has been amazing. and the time I've been in the community now for a couple of years. I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely the newest person here, for sure.
I loved every second of it. The folks are amazing, and it grows every day. And it's you never stop finding stuff. Yeah, it's so.
It's a wild ride.
Everybody's crossing into Cyber
Another
Shadow.
yeet? Hey, nice yeet.
That's true. That's true. Lost in a lot of the Cyber Shadow. So Miinfin and I disagree on this, and that's okay. I don't like this Skyland, and I know he loves it.
This one is my favorite.
So I like it because you get to eat. That's the only reason why I like it. And you also
what he
secret
says.
break in here.
Yeah, and the Secret Break is really cool. I am not a fan of the Trident throwers.
Oh my God, they're snipers.
They're snipers in a way, and it bothers me. But otherwise, yeah. Probably my least favorite of them, but it's not bad. It's
Also,
really short.
that switch room is pretty fun to optimize as well, because like most of the switch rooms, you can actually stopping you from progressing. You can actually get a rope dart on each of them as they're disappearing, so you can get like a small heat from the wall disappearing. And that particular one's kind of hard to do because you have to climb up a wall after you've hit all 6 switches in order to get it. So yeah. So now we're going on to the last, I believe, the Fire Skylands, and this next section is where we get on Rust Money Pump. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. You actually kind of get a gauge. You start to learn patterns, like in this one, I think it's the third row or segment of the big ones is also going to have like a huge collection in the middle, about halfway through their spawning. So you kind of anticipate that right there. And you gotta learn those things so you can maximize the amount of money you get. As Miinfin was talking about before, you have your goals in certain parts of your run. It's relatively inconsequential at this stage because you're hitting so much.
Right.
Yeah, because each of those lines is 10 of those bots, which drops 6 shards. So that's 60 shards. Whoa, that was
weird.
It's okay, these fireballs hit everyone.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but I've never hit it and dead stopped.
So honestly, it's also really interesting to hit this early. Not that it's required or probably even expected, but there's actually an upgrade we haven't got yet that simplifies the stage a little bit. And since Vin does not have it yet, it's something that he has to be mindful of, where that lava is a little more scary than...
Yeah, particularly
than
this room. If you have the Ninja Tappy in this room, walk on the lava and just continue on and not work. If you don't, oh man, that's dumb.
Yeah. So, we're done. We're done with Elemental Skylands. Fire Skylands is done, we've done it all, and oh, that's right, there's still one more spot. The boss.
Now we defeat the butler.
Yep. So again, if you were missing out on any like more challenging bullet helly kind of spots, or if you just really wanted to mash for a while, here's your boss for it. This boss hurts me.
And we've actually already skipped the first cycle, so that we every beginning of his phase, he spits out a bunch of garbage, and it's awful. And if you pump out enough damage into him before he really does anything, you can skip his first cycle. You can see here, puts out all that awful garbage, the missiles and the things and the god, it's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty. There's some pretty solid spots you probably just went to where you got pretty close to the eye, and most of the obstacles couldn't get up to.
If you get like right up next to his head, but that means you're still right next to him. You're cornered by all this stuff around you. You gotta make sure you hit it fast enough.
Yep. So third phase, take out the heart, and that's
Nicely done.
Yeah. So there's actually a musical cue on this fight. If you release that big fireball too early, you actually miss out on 5 damage, and he will start spewing this stuff. So as soon as you start hear that first bass drop, you let go, and you'll skip that entire phase.
I use his buttons actually as my cue. As soon as I see his buttons appear on screen, that's when I go for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just use a musical cue.
I like that. I like the music cue. I'm gonna start doing that.
There you go. That's the first musical note, which actually it isn't. because we did and you couldn't
Because we
see
got the
this.
one, yeah, in Crags.
Yeah, if you remember a while ago in our Crags run, we did our very first leash to go up and do something weird, where the ninja kind of lifted up, some music played, and then we moved on. That was actually the first note we were picking up, the note of strength. Completely skipped all the necessary side quests in order to get it. Just grabbed it and moved on. So now we got our second note, the symbiosis note.
Yeah,
Now,
we're not exactly the nicest ninja. By doing that sequence break, we don't save these two big idiots that are a little ways below us, and well, let's just say their workout routine.
They were waiting on some food.
They stewed on it a little bit.
there you go. A little too long. So, yeah, those two that you fought before were just waiting for their thistle to fully bloom, but it took a lot longer than they expected.
Only 500 years.
Or so, right? Yeah, give or take.
You know, we'll just wait here until he comes back, right? He'll be back. Yeah, okay. Shouldn't we eat? Nah, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, now we gotta add the thistle in. Alright, so now that you've done that, it seems like Hope Note's next?
Yep.
Cool, we'll knock that out. Hope Note, it is the note of one tiles.
Yes, this is on my splits. It's called Stupid Tree for a very important reason. This trying to get this next sequence break for this next note is a bit of a hassle. There's a nice backup that I didn't know about when I was grinding this category.
The big K one.
Oh, nice.
Reverse blue steel.
Really nice.
Really good.
Another example of why I love Geats. They're amazing, and I love 80%.
I love it, 8%. Easily my favorite category. It's a longer run relative to some of the other ones, especially the popular ones, but
yeah, you get to see so much more as opposed to just like, you know, like there's nothing wrong with crispy clean movement. I love that in my speedruns, but all of these crazy glitches and like.
And we haven't even seen like all of my favorite spots, which I'm looking forward to in a little bit. Okay, there it is. There it is. That's
backup makes it free.
Snipe the fire, Kappa.
Shout out to Big K, I miss you.
Stupid tree.
The Hope Note. And that is our third. We are halfway done.
Woohoo!
With collecting things. And now we just gotta get the other ones. And some of them are a little more involved.
Yes, and because we've done the first two, it's, you know, basically backwards, those look like nothing. So the next couple of notes will actually be a little bit more difficult. And so we're about to go to the next one. But now we have just the right amount of money, and we pass right by the shop, so we buy the next two upgrades, which is one more health and one, I forget what it's called. Somebody could probably tell me the name of the upgrade, but it basically, you take one less damage from every source.
It's Kusari Jacket.
Kusari Jacket, thank you. I knew it was like a summer jacket. And that's the biggest upgrade that we need for this particular category. Because next stage we're about to get to, we're about to ram our face into a few spikes. So
hopefully
we need a little bit more health.
This is the particular strap that is newer for me, and the first time I saw it, I about lost my mind.
We always thought like it was possible, right? But
it's gotta be.
But now we actually realize, like, oh, never mind. It's just an actual viable strat that we can go for.
What did I first call it in my head? This is not the official name. I remember referring to it, and to other people, I think, too. The PP skip skip.
Oh yeah, the PP skip skip.
Hey, we're not gonna see that skip now.
Right.
Did he go through with it? But yeah, it's
funny that
called
there is still another
caveat,
skip for the area, the area game.
Yeah.
Skips on
which
skips
by
on skips.
Yeah, which by the way was a great skip. Okay.
Hey, we might still see it though, because I'm not going to spend too much time doing it.
One tile ability, you got it. I know.
Beautiful.
Nice teleport. Hey, and the
time
timing. I hate how good you are at that room.
That's such an interesting teleport. because of the limitations on the travel. It's really important to note that teleporting is a bit of a misnomer. As you're not actually teleporting from A to B, you're moving very, very quickly.
From A to A, now that we know what it does.
Yeah, from A to A. It's the same exact enemy. It's just it's a reused asset.
Yeah, because those two enemies were like significantly different in their y-axis, and also there's kind of a wall in the way. You see how, and I think it has something to do with the save point too, where when the teleport happens, you actually land at the save point and not the next enemy. Wow,
oh, nice.
So hard to do.
That is basically a one-frame perfect button. I believe it's 2 button presses right when you touch the water. There's a different way to set that up that's a little slower, but those are crazy. So here we go for backdoor tabby, which requires a really specific setup for the perfect jump. Nice. And
Yo!
here. I'm gonna give him some silence.
Fuck! Pardon my language, sorry. Did not mean that to pop out. I do apologize.
This is very difficult strat. You pretty much have to have the perfect movement once you get into the area. So it's the perfect jump in order to get your one tile, as well as the perfect movement afterwards.
It is so cool. I just didn't think that height was possible before, and it completely breaks this stage because a third of it is now knocked out, which is wonderful.
All right. Of course, now I can't do it.
That's okay. You basically got to see what would have happened. So Miinfin's actually giving you guys a cooler experience because now you saw what is possible, right? Your mind has already been blown, and now he's going to show you the other skip. See, isn't he a nice guy? He's so nice.
PP skip. I'm glad that we get to see it.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, we'll come through the vanilla way of coming through and picking up those tabbies. We need to get them so that we can finish the stage and get our 4th note. And so we're coming through the backdoor tabbies, which is taking us straight to them. We grab them and then we leave, or we go to the next set. But instead, we'll go the typical route, which is, I think that backdoor tabby saved you what, a good minute or so.
It's like, I think with like the first try PP skip and like good movement, I think it saves like 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes 15 seconds or something like that.
Let's save before I try to do that again.
If you count like the room to the right with not getting PP skip, then it's more like 3.
Yeah. So PP skip is what he's trying right now, named after Piranha Pig.
And I keep goofing it.
What's essentially what you're supposed to do. You come into this room, you go underneath in there, change the time so the water's risen, and then come back through and go back to the stage, and then have to change the time back to get out of the room. Or you could do essentially that. It's very tight, where you're cloud stepping off of that trident, moving through the saw blades here, and first try. Nice. Excellent.
Also, 2C. 2C in chat.
Yo, 2C!
The legend himself!
Oh, 2C, an amazing runner of this game.
That's a 2C.
And just a sweet soul, too.
Biggest homie.
Ooh, I see a Carter in there, too.
Oh, I do.
Are we going to see a Carter Crushers, mayhaps?
I'm going to try. I've been practicing.
Don't worry, please don't.
Oh, I love
You're going to give me
Crushers.
PTSD if you go for that.
Oh, I love Carter. I love
Me
going
too.
for it. Oh, it's so much fun.
Alright, let's see if we can not goof the rest of this up.
You got this. So now we got the tabbies. Now we can run on water, as you can see there. These other 2 areas will be accessible. And we have two seals, essentially. These crests. We have these 2 crests that we need to pick up so that we can get into that door in that center area that houses our note. So we're just trying
Also, we don't like slow elevators.
One, which is Moon, I believe. Hey, it works. You got deboost. You got deboost stuff, so it's less scary.
Ooh, nice.
And you made it.
Yeah, you pretty much will always make that first cycle if you manage to rope dart not on the lantern but on the bat. But yeah, it can always be. It's kind of difficult just because that bat is literally right So
So we'll travel through. For anyone who monitors or sees, Sabotage Studio or the lore of the game, which is really good, this level hugely references their new game that's going to be coming out next year, which is their more like turn-based RPG style game, and which I'm super pumped for. The sun. Yeah, I'm super excited. And so this level is a huge reference to it. It itself is a huge reference to it. Okay, so the sun side we did first. Now we're coming over to the moon side.
Yep.
Fun strat we can do with this room. Are we
I
gonna go
know
for it?
he's gonna do it. There it is.
Ah! I missed
No
the...
further than that.
Is so scary. There are so many things here. Most of the time, I go for this particular room only at 3 health. So you go for that swim yeet. You're 1 health, and there's like 7 things in there that could kill you. It's horrifying. But Miinfin, the smart runner, went full health. So difference in runners. This is why he's top 5 and I'm not.
That's another reason why I'm a huge fan of the Rowdy shows, because he gets the damage reduction early, and so there's more opportunities and it's less stressful. That's really good.
Doing the 2C route of just racing the Banshees.
Yeah.
Yeah, just burst through it. Okay, so now we've got a. I get these names messed up. Is this Wet Afro what you're doing right now?
No, Wet Afro is...
Okay.
Yeah, so Wet Afro is when you rope dart while standing, and then you jump, and then so Ninja will be put into the spinny boy animation while falling, and it'll allow us to tile water swimming.
Okay.
Basically, the easy setup to do what I do the frame perfectly.
That would be the alt strat for when Miinfin goes for the glides in water when he goes to that 1 frame. That's like the alternate setup for it. But
Gotcha.
this man likes going heckin' fast, so he's gonna do it the hardest way possible. With mad respect.
Gotcha. All right, we got both crests.
Now we get the longest door opening sequence.
Now we've got a long cutscene while we pick up our 4th note, the note of love.
And,
I am very excited for this new game.
I also appreciate that the note of love we get to see Ninja does indeed have a backside. And we get to appreciate it for this cutscene.
Got a wild Grond in chat, by the way.
Yeah, we got the world record holder in chat in like almost every category.
Man, shucks, I forgot to tweet it out. This opportunity.
Loving everyone showing up. Bunch of just wonderful souls the community is.
Yeah.
So true. The Bamboo Crew is only growing stronger.
Well, by the way, I won't even get into everything that you're seeing here and how great it is. The important detail that you can see in this entire screen is that Ninja, confirmed, has a back.
Yeah. Play Picnic-Matic, you see the 8-bit back.
Yeah, confirmed. you gotta play the DLC, but he's got a back even in the past.
It's a cool cape, yeah. We've never seen it before.
All right, so we're done with that. Now we got a board to pick up.
Those are the. The fact that you go for those, man, every time, my jaws drop every time.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm so surprised we glossed over the underwater maze, which
Lost Woods.
It's a memory. Yeah, Lost Woods. Yeah, it's a memory game. So if anyone had noticed, you typically have to go and get the seashell. Great teleport. You typically have to go and get the seashell so that you know which directions to go, but it is static. So you memorize it, you're good to go. Not unlike the other kind of item skip in the game, which is that's the true sight, right?
The what is it called? The gift of true sight. And when you look at it, start menu, the description says it's literally an ordinary wax candle.
Yeah.
Reverse hay skip.
That's all it is. It's just a candle. But it allows us to see in the dark.
Yeah. So
Very
we'll get to that
important.
part actually pretty soon here. We're
Yeah.
kind of doing our bamboo revisit, which will actually do the entire level backwards.
Yeah, we're sweeping the rest of the 8-bit sort of backwards. Now that we have access to everything, coming back for Bamboo Boy, who is now, as the inclusive crew that we are now. He is now since each of them have their own distinct name. This is, I believe, Claustro, our companion.
Yep.
1 and 4.
Yeah, so we have Claustro, our companion, Necro the neighbor, Acro the ally, and Pyro our pal. Hence why I've been naming myself Bamboo Crew instead of Bamboo Boys.
Yeah, I like bamboo crew. I like that term. So we picked them up. That's the second of 4. That's the second of 4, and we will see some more later. Claustro, afraid of tight spaces, so we had to help him out there. And now we just
we're
completely
just
reverse.
straight backwards, and we get to see Bamboo and how much the ropes are.
That's right. Yeah. We don't go back through in 16-bit, which is a bit of a shame. But it's just it's faster to do this.
There's
All
a
right.
cool strat coming up in this room right here.
Well, would have been if I didn't like.
It's really hard, chat. It's basically you're the coolest ninja ever because you hit the moving platform with your shurikens, and you're optimally being a ninja, and it's really sick. But it's like super hard to do.
I want to say we call it the triple Itachi or something like that.
Yeah, it's either the double or triple Itachi. Yeah, very fit strat, I think.
Rope dart dancing, please stop.
Alright, so we're coming back through. What was it? I think I had a command once. For when I was doing any percent, we could do the reverse bamboo, and it was a command
OoB.
for OoB. Yeah, it was OoB. It was the entire song, completely reversed. So-
I'm gonna try for it.
Oh, he wants it. Oh, he wants it.
He's thirsty for the yeet. I am too. Oh,
Alright.
I'll give it one more shot.
I believe.
All right.
Almost.
It's so hard to go for that. He's going for the hardest setup, so.
He's
Man.
doing that setup, and also he's screen transitioning, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot to keep in mind there, and those will crush you. Don't let those doors fool you. They are mean. So we're actually coming back through here because we don't. Because of the fastest way, honestly. But we come back through because we need to say hi to an old buddy of ours. There you go. That's what you want to
Nice.
We want to come say hi to an old buddy of ours.
Yeah, Ruxton. Remember him? Yeah, we kind of like we beat him up a little bit. We reminded him that being a bad guy is not good, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'll not do that." But
Yeah, so we come and
unfortunately, the
say-
magic in his lovely skeleton ran out, and so he gave us access to his magical staff and his amulet.
Rip Ruxton.
Yeah.
I believe the amulet is what allows the staff to be used.
I believe so. And so we'll use that later, yeah, to go and get, to revisit a level, essentially. Now we're going to easily one of my favorite parts of this 90% run. I absolutely love it, and it's Dark Cave.
I actually learned the any percent, or rather, when I was learning the 80% category, the first thing that I really had problems with was the Dark Cave, and minus your tutorial actually was what really gave me the upper hand on the Dark Cave. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I remember doing it just because I loved doing Dark Cave so much that I had to just film myself talking about it for a while.
I actually, now that I've watched your tutorial, I've actually sort of like made my own notes for it as well, and like sort of culminated yours with mine, and it's so fun. I love it.
Which is the best way to do it.
Very scary.
Something we were paying attention in that room, if you remember, we got Badonkadonk earlier. So that cutscene trigger was still there. Typically, for a lot of runners, not really much of a thing to think about. but it is incredibly dangerous in this version of Catacombs. If you hit it, that you might die. Right? It doesn't soft lock. It puts you in position for the rucks and stuff to happen, and it pretty much in 16-bit positions you on spikes.
Oh, that's right, because there's spikes down there. Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, with the damage reduction, I just wonder if you can actually die there now.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to play with.
Maybe.
Well,
so we're coming through Dark Cave. We all learned this in our 80% runs, essentially how to get through the first half of it. There's a good amount of visual cues, just kind of in the foreground, but otherwise, yeah.
I've been missing that so much, and I don't know why.
Everywhere. So, you can die pretty much just about anywhere in the Dark Cave.
Yeah, you learn like little bits of drops there. You know, there's a drop, and then you're coming up in the middle here to avoid some spikes, dropping down again, and then coming up here to get on top of a platform, and now you're over a death pit. Mm-hmm. And so at this point, a lot of runners have their own ways of getting through this section.
I keep missing a portion there.
There's rope darts that I like to go for here.
Yeah, I enjoy the rope darts as well. I think, Min, you prefer the platforms here?
Yeah, but I've been missing that second one for some reason.
But again, this is another instance of every bamboo boy, bamboo crew. We're learning.
Yeah, every member.
Every one of us has a slightly different way of comparatively to. While I do compare this game to Super Metroid a lot, I don't. But comparatively to Super Metroid, where pretty much for the most part everything is pretty concrete in how you're supposed to do things. You can't really mix things up and have sort of like the same result.
Potentially, and I mean it's equal parts like you do what's fun and what you enjoy.
Right.
Oh. There's actually lanterns on. I think they're equidistant to each other on each side of the time chain.
On each side of the portal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are. So typically, you would come through this stage in the typical game run with the candle, so that you can see this whole area. Which
you don't even really see the whole area. You see, right? Or do you see the whole area? It's kind of like Pokemon, right? When you have like flash, it's like a small circle around you or something, right?
It has been so long now.
It's honestly, I don't remember the last time.
There you go. All right, that's the hard part. There's gonna do the 2 bounces here, go into the next room, and so this part's not too bad. You do a little bit of.
I need to.
You're gonna reset it. 1, 2. There you go.
Get the right wall.
That has been giving me more trouble than not lately, and I gotta re-practice that.
Oh yeah, it gets me too. So you threw the shuriken to save a little bit of time because you knew where the crystal was going to be, and at this point, kind of racing over there, but there you go. And we're done. We're out of Dark Cave.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and into Rivière Turquoise.
This stage is beautiful, and also kind of a meme. There's a particularly overused mechanic in this stage that is fun for, if you're for casuals, but pretty much skip all of them. And there's a few that we kind of have to take. Some of the cannons are pretty are mandatory, like these two.
As our resident Papa Poopa would always say, just do the puzzle.
Which I didn't want to do right there.
Yeah, that was one that we could have skipped. That's okay. This is another set that we can also just kind of jump through and not care.
Because you got the damage boost here.
Exactly.
When I would run through here, that wasn't really an option. But,
right. Yeah.
But it was the route. This route's way.
Now we can just damage boost on everything now.
That was.
That was a good choice.
Thank you, checkpoints, putting us at 3 health, even though spikes do 3, so it's a little false sense of security.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing. Ooh, went for the teleport there. That's a really hard time to set up. Really, really precise. And you have to be on standing at the right spot. And it's really annoying too because there's that other Kappa to the side of it. So props to go for that.
There's a lot of really unique ones. in this stage. I love the aesthetic. I don't love this room.
Oh god. This it's so
log
funny
room.
because like as a casual, you're just like, ah, it's cold, I'm gonna jump on a log and I'll jump on another one. But like as a speedrunner, you're like, must go fast, must not land on log.
Yeah, and there's plenty of things in this game that they essentially eat your rope dart. You kind of throw the rope dart out. If they connect with it, there really isn't much for the ninja to do with it, so it kind of just eats it. Maybe pulls you over to it, but then you just fall to your death. And logs are one of them.
You don't go on top of the platform, you just fall. And you don't
Beautiful.
have to rope dart. Nicely done.
All right, he's gonna follow it up here.
The rest
There
of this
you go.
room is a little bit.
Woohoo!
Yeah, nicely done.
That
You got to the
was
top.
really good.
That deserves a
that
round of applause.
Really good.
First
I
hit,
was able to
bird
take
yeet.
the entire yeet. I think we glossed over that too, but that yeet went from one room through another room, and this third room is where he ended it.
Yep.
Wow.
Alright, we're in the puzzle section.
This is a crazy Riviera.
Yeah. We're in the puzzle section where we get in flowers only when we need to. They're slow.
Yeah, that's another one that you would think that it was not optional. You had to take that one, but
That one is
pretty
true.
much every puzzle, we don't like doing them.
This
is
one,
the only one that is required that is like the biggest puzzle in the level. You just have to make sure you hit all. Yeah, just do the puzzle.
just do the puzzle.
Shout out to Poopa.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Just hit each bottom flower once and just do the puzzle.
Just do it.
I'll tell you how many times I forgot to do the puzzle. I hop into the thing and I just stand there when it doesn't work. I'm like,
You just spit back out and you're like, oh, wait, whoops.
that didn't do the same thing it did last time.
Alright,
I was in chat. Just do the puzzle. Alright, here we go. Bird skip
This
here.
is called, I believe we called this TMR skip because the Mexican runner was the one who founded it. It's a bit difficult to set up. Looks like we are going for a backup that I did not know existed. I like that. I've never seen that.
I went for that
nifty.
because I've been having issues getting it lined up right, and I've been clipping the bird way too early. So,
Yeah,
shout outs to Samurai for showing me that one.
Yeah.
That was a really nice backup.
And it's really interesting how fast you have to be to actually get that backup. Because if you delay for even a few frames, you will just keep changing the time. You have to change the time and then get back up in the future so that you can make that float over. All right, we got Moth the Bat here.
This boss is kind of cool.
It really is.
So it's the whole mechanic or gimmick of this boss rather is that there's platforms that you aren't able to see until basically the boss gives you sight of them, but they're still there. So we can, as long as we remember where they are, we can just use them. And then right as the boss flies off screen, you can actually get on top of him and continuously pogo on top of it, and you'll fly with the butterfly matriarch as it goes off screen, and you can just pump damage into it. So if we do that optimally, which Miinfin got a nice
You'll
one,
be on screen.
we should be able to kill it right
Great
here.
kill.
Nice.
Great kill. That's the kill you want to see right there.
Yep.
And then this is where we pick up a key item that is required. We're going to need
The
this.
butterfly.
And then
very important butterfly.
Watch your step.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh! Just kidding. Flowers are slow. We hate flower cannons. So dying is good. We die to go fast. Yay!
Yeah, optimally, that would be our first death in the run. But I have not been playing. I have not been playing optimal. But that's okay.
Still a great run though so far.
Yeah. Now we're heading to Underworld Revisit. Oh, there's Pyro.
Hi Pyro. Hi Lover Boy.
Lover boy. I'm still waiting to see the cosplay because I remember calling him. I remember affectionately calling him Hellboy for a bit.
Oh.
And I'm waiting for some cosplay of that people in like a Hellboy costume.
Oh my goodness, that would be great.
If anyone has it, I'd love to see it.
I want to turn his speaking sprite, his text sprite into that now. That needs to happen.
I love the 8-bit revisit here.
Such a good song.
Yeah, the song is great. You remember from the beginning of the game. You got to hear it in 16 when he came through, but the 8-bit revisit is really neat, and it's really short. This is one of the shorter splits that we'd have. You come here, you go through about half the stage, you pick up it can be our 5th note, which is the note of chaos, and then we leave.
Yeah, now that we have access to the Ninja Tabby, we can walk on that lava piece like Trevor's son. And it's funnily enough, even though it's one of the shorter splits,
I love that
it's still one of the scarier splits. Because while we do have access to the Ninja Tabby to walk on lava, there is still hot, spicy Fanta that is really not tasty and not poggers to jump in. And the last screen of this area is a big old pool of Fanta, so we want to make sure that we don't jump in that.
Because Min didn't go for it, which I respect. He's going to get the save point here. We die more often than we're willing to admit, at least I do, in that long room
Yes.
the 70's talking about. And you go back to that save point. There's a skip in that room that I'm not even worth mentioning that skips that checkpoint, which makes death in
it's
here.
It's a 12-second time save
Yes.
that we all are mad. It's really hard.
I'm
None
mad.
of us do it.
I'm mad it exists. It's so hard. So,
Like I said,
This room.
Fanta's awful. That room.
that room. Yeah.
Well,
It gives me a similar vibe to the long pit room and the 16-bit cloud rooms I don't like. For it's longer, and it's just mean throwing all these enemies at you and spike balls and.
Yeah, pretty much each room, for the most part, has particular layout, and you can feel like you're getting to the end. This one, it just feels infinite sometimes.
Yeah, and also, yeah. Two big things that'll happen in this room that really mess with you is a lot of times, depending on your essentially your y-axis at the time of certain things, it can almost appear like it eats your jump. The game.
I was about to mention that.
Yeah, the game will kind of do a ground check, and will not give you a jump that you think you should have after you slash an enemy. I see it mostly in the room before the save room that we show up in, where the moving platforms, when you rope dart over to them, sometimes you don't get a jump off of them, just because of where that platform is when the animation's done. The other bit is another reason why I didn't like that Cloud Ruins room is because of the hitbox of those falling platforms. You come in at a certain angle, you will not land on them.
Yep.
While in that glide animation.
And since that entire floor of that area was falling platforms, one mess up of your rope dart there, you hit a platform, and bye-bye. So
but
we are out of there.
We've got 5 notes now, and we only need one more. This last one is the most involved. So let me see if I can cover this right. In order to get that note, we need to go into our nice background stage. In order to do that, we need 2 items.
Oh yeah.
Right? In order to do that, we need 2 items. We need the fairy that we got from Riviere, and we need a crown from the Demon King. In order to get the crown from the Demon King, we have to get all 4 Phobicans. So, we're in Cloud Ruins. We're going to come here to pick up the last Phobican. This is a pretty long stage, and of the 2 visits, this is probably my favorite Cloud Ruins visit. It is harder, but I love the aesthetic. And a lot of the rooms I didn't like in the 16-bit because I'm sassy and not good at this game are not here.
You made them fun and easy to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's its own sort of challenge, and it's very difficult. And I remember getting stuck in this section casually.
Just to make sure we have enough shards. With the way my gameplay's been going right now, gonna make sure we're good. We need 1,000 for the 1,000 for the last 2 upgrades, or last 3.
Got it. There we go.
But we have enough.
So,
I just wanted to make sure with the way my gameplay's been going.
lot of Corbel visits make you worry a lot about your card count, but Min's got it handled. I had noticed Tusi's comment on the cosplay in the community, which is the Manfred one. There's been a lot of discussion. As we are in Quadroon, I think it's a great time to mention. Really, nothing would satisfy me more than at some point in the future an event where the Bamboo crew does come together in a wonderful Manfred costume.
There will have to be a TikTok of Balfred.
Oh, Balfred.
Well, that didn't work out.
Just get dizzy and pass out.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. So, one of the major things that comes to my mind when I think about this stage is teleports. This stage has so many of them.
Mm-hmm. I believe there's actually 4 in this stage.
There's a lot.
There might even be more than that now that I'm thinking about it.
Black has found two or three.
Oh wow. Yeah, if you finding them, just what you're willing to set up and wait for.
Can't do it a second time.
It makes me clench in ways. Alright, so there are some that are, I would call them free. They line up perfectly when you do the room well. And then some that you kind of have to goad out and...
Right, yeah. There's the ones that you just kind of hold forward and do the buttons and it works, and then there's the ones where you have...
Like that one. You know, you just hold right and do it.
Yeah, that one is easier to pull off in 8-bit than it is in 16-bit.
There's actually 2 teleports in that particular monk-ass ghost room. That requires you to basically glide. You have to fall straight down before on the second ghost.
Here's the Ohos teleport, which is you line up perfectly. You just move through the room right.
Nice. Yep. That's another one of the. Just make sure you don't stop moving when you get that one.
Yeah.
Don't stop moving.
Nailed it. What was okay? So, I've forgotten to mention the shout out of the invisible lantern. Because I know you like to smack it. I like to smack it, man, when you were in that room.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the game devs put a lantern inside the wall. It gives us money. We don't know why it's there, but we smack it for fun.
If my
that's another one of those TPs that requires you to stand still for a little bit.
Yeah.
To go to the enemy.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that lantern has a place in 16-bit.
It does.
But stays in play in 8-bit for some reason and ends up being behind the wall.
They just put like tile over it. That's all they did.
Yeah. And they just figured, whatever. And so we get some free shards out of the wall. It's fun.
And here's another example of that one.
I was just gonna do that for fun. That didn't really save time.
That one is like you have to wait the perfect amount of time, and it doesn't. It saves you like 0.3, maybe 0.2. It doesn't even. But it's funny that the time save comes from you standing still. So we like.
Hi, Acro. Bye, Acro.
Hi, buddy. Okay, see you later.
Alright, so let's see here. We've got all 4 Phobicans, and we've got the fairy. In the code, it's actually referred to as a fairy bottle, which is weird, because there's no bottle. But what we do have is the fairy. So that's half of what we need for the future. So...
And now the next thing we need is the crown.
We need the crown. And since we have all the Phobicans, Forlorn Temple is now accessible. If you happen to remember, because I think it just went by real fast, when you first finished Autumn Hills and went to Catacombs, there was that kind of mid-stage that we didn't spend a lot of time in. That's Forlorn Temple. And we're actually going to go and do that stage now. And that place is hard.
Ugh.
It's a hard stage, just flat out. It has its own mechanics in it that you don't really see anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it has wood robes, because why not?
Our favorite enemy that's always random. Yay!
Yeah, they are the
RNG.
Yeah, they are the epitome of random. I took a look at their logic some point in the past, and essentially all they do is they look for a random accessible spot within the bounds of the camera and teleport there. So,
Wow.
yeah, the epitome of RNG.
Wow.
That's why when we have the Wizrobe leash.
Open.
Yeah, well, that's why, like, when you have the Wizrobe leash in Glacial, whenever you're moving from in certain areas, it's not where you were looking; it's where you started when it did its teleport.
Also, yes. Yeah. All right, so we're coming in here. This is the Leaf Boss revisit. Wait for it. Nailed it. Good job.
Take
What the
that,
Hansan?
Hansan.
Take.
By the way, and what he just did there, which he a lot, and is anytime he rope darts onto a wall where there's only one tile of the wall, Ninja won't climb to it or cling to it, and he'll continue on. That's called a Hansan. Those are used everywhere. So that one's actually kind of cool to get because you have to make sure that you don't jump too early. You make sure that you slash at the right time. So. But now we're on to a really crazy level. Also, shout out to Mega Man. I love that sound effect. This stage is kind of similar to Catacombs in a way, in that it's kind of Cycle City, but it's a culmination again of from the from the whole game. But there's a lot of there's actually a really cool sequence right here where you're supposed to change time and do a whole bunch of things, but apparently go through space and time. So whatever, we just throw our shuriken and
Don't.
we take that.
Wizrobes.
Wizrobe, please.
Yeah, you're seeing the rockets, which you're only going to see here. It's an interesting mechanic. Mix them with Wizrobes, and you kind of have a recipe for disaster. Because if you take damage while on the rocket, you fall off of it, and then you have to set up again. And those Wizrobes will sometimes just position themselves in a way where there's nothing you can do. You either have to wait it out, or if you're already on the rocket, you're going to just have to set it up again, because they're going to knock you off. This room is hard, and then we're going to have a
They
fall,
troll you.
and we're going to have a Crusher room that I'm excited to see.
There's a very cool way to speed this room up, but
I got the slow
he
one!
went for it. No, it's so
tried.
hard to go for it.
Respect for the attempt.
Respect. I
there's a way
usually end
to-
up dying every time I go for that, so...
You use those bats to kind of rope dart over quickly. You can beat the cycle for the Crushers. We call it the Carter Crushers. Carter Freak helping solidify that particular strat down for us.
Well-
Showing it off. I love it. I love trying it. But it's very precise. You have to leave the enemies in a certain... Like, don't kill any of the bats. You're going to need them. And so you got to flip. Oh, quick save. So there's a bit that plays in there, but it's satisfying. And then I've seen some great strats in here. I've seen Gron do a few things in here about speeding this place up and doing some of those kind of like backwards slashes.
Yeah, where you slash through the wall. That one's really hard to set up. It's
It
a
is.
crazy combination of inputs.
You would have.
Don't even understand.
I don't think we mentioned it the entire time, which is a big area if you would have seen it.
Right.
You probably won't see it again maybe until Music Box.
Music Box, right.
But it's really cool to have seen it here because we only really thought to do it on a clinged wall, where basically you cling on a wall and then you kind of jump away from it while slashing. Is a little bit more to it than that.
It's the first use of like a
Yeah. And so it kind of
wall
extends
slash.
it kind of extends the wall slash backwards a little bit further than you can typically slash. Anyway, it allows you to hit things on the other side of walls that are a little bit smaller. The really neat thing about how I've seen it used here is it actually performed on these other types of walls, and it's just really cool. Because if I remember correctly, you don't actually cling for that slash, and I didn't know that was possible.
Oh yeah.
And that makes it even harder because you can't set it up. You have to do it mid-jump.
Now, if I remember right, from one of 2C's runs, that particular room for yeeting through those saws was actually developed because of New Game Plus runs to find a way to survive without dying.
Huh.
So I want to say I heard something about that at a ESA run.
Wow.
That's a great fall.
Nicely done. I hate that
Yeah.
room. That room is so scary.
I just expect to take a hit from there.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'll just lean into it because you're gonna get free health coming out of there. So I'll just lean into the damage. But that was a great fall.
Yeah.
All right, Monka S room, anyone?
Oh boy, yeah.
This room was
Monka saw
ridiculous
room.
casual.
Oh my, yeah. When I saw this my first time, I went back up and I was like, is this the like the exit of the room? Like what's wrong here?
And the wildest thing about it is it wasn't that much easier when I was trying to learn the run. And then as you go through the room, you realize all this crazy, like, going through, like, taking damage from solid blades, that all seems to be intentional because of all the health it gives you in the room.
They keep feeding you health, right?
And they're feeding you, like, one health balls,
Yeah, just
too.
enough health to keep you up.
All right, Demon King.
Why did I...
There's some interesting strats for handling this
Yeah,
fight.
the intended way is to take the rocket like this, and you take it all the way up. It hits him, and then you get a chip right here to wail on him as he falls back down. The weird thing about once you
There you go.
once you get to the bottom of the screen, you have to start climbing as fast as possible. That was a nice climb, and it's kind of annoying once you to get back onto him. You have to go to the far side of the screen to basically lead him back down. So to do him unintentionally,
The fireball! Oh my god!
yeah, to do it not the intentional way.
It was one hit!
Wow, you were so close to it.
Man, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so bad.
That was a really,
So frustrating.
honestly, that was a really good climb in the beginning.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it was.
massively.
And so at this point, it's the cutscene. You just don't take damage, and it's about like a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's pretty much
yeah.
like a
Dodging
you're
projectiles,
playing Toho, and
dodging projectiles until the fight's over.
yeah, he's already dead.
You know what?
I also I've always appreciated the way that he dies here.
No. He's gonna die in
I'm
a...
not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
until it happens.
he's gonna die in a rude way because this may be too soon, but he deserves it for this. He's gonna get Thanos. We're gonna put it that way. It's not the sun, he got Thanos.
That's true. Even though he's
looking
the
at-
sunlight at the beginning of the game, he's looking directly at
Yeah,
it.
he looks
and
at
it's too bad.
He looks at the light and he says, "Messenger, I don't feel so good."
I like 2C's reference there. So apparently, Piranha Pig has been hit here. If you get hit on that climb, you fall down and have to do those balls again.
He was on a he was on a PB pace, I think, at the time, and got hit. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it's so bad.
After this long and arduous cutscene of this thing falling
takes-
down,
Yeah,
finally.
it takes forever
Yeah,
for
you
that guy
can't
to
skip
die.
it. You just gotta
Oh.
watch it.
But we got the crown.
But
We got the
now
crown.
we
We
have
got
the
the
most
fairy.
important thing, and now we get to go to the second last level of the game.
And we can get
Yeah.
to go right for the first time.
I know, right? And this level has the best background ever.
Oh, it really does.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of insane.
And
I love
if
that
you-
quote. The abyss stares at you. Stare back.
and if y'all can hear the music, just give it a listen. One of my favorite songs, the bass line in the 16-bit version. Oh,
Yeah. And this is a bit of a little silly stage, but for the next probably minute or so would probably be a good place for donations and whatnot.
There are no new donations currently, but to quote Strizer here, we're way ahead of PB pace for the marathon. So just a quick shout out to everybody who has tuned in and donated throughout the weekend. We still have 24 hours or so to go. I will brush up on our 3 remaining incentives that you could donate. So the next one coming up will be the new Ghostbusters 2. Pick a character. Currently, Egon is winning at $15, but Peter, Ray, Vincent, Louis are all at $10 behind. So I feel like that's like going to be a last-minute snipe. We got River City Girls. Pick a character. Misako is winning by $20 over Kyoko. And just at the end of the marathon, we'll have the Great Circus Mystery character pick. Mickey is currently losing by $25 over Minnie. So if you're a Mickey fan, definitely swing that the other way.
Definitely get those donations in for those incentives. This is an amazing cause, guys. So we're nearing the end of the Corrupted Future level, and for the most part, there's nothing, very crazy about this stage. You're just kind of leading the Firefly all the way through the end. And for the most part, this is, fairly, if you've ever played this game before, fairly similar to any casual playthrough.
I don't think I've ever been stuck up there before.
In this stage, this is the first time for everything. There's so many things that you caught on here.
Yeah, so
now,
in this stage, really the only hard part that you have to avoid is dying.
Oh my... No! Oh, just kidding, guys.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So, fun fact. I looked into how this works. Normally, if you collect the note the right way, you get a save points when you collect it and it turns white. Since that doesn't happen until after you die, you go back to the only save point in here, which is the portal. That's why that warp works.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
and the reason that warp is at all possible is because whenever you enter a cutscene that Ninja's supposed to be locked in place, he still conserves momentum and he'll still slide. So in that instance, we were able to just slide into the pit.
Yeah, I try to do it all fancy too.
That whole chase cutscene, or sequence rather.
I did it all kinds of fancy too, because I was doing all kinds of backflips in the air after I came off the yeet.
Luckily, we're done with Big Ugly, and now we're on to the coolest stage of the game.
Yeah,
so cool. All right, so we got the final note. That's the note of courage. So with all those notes together, it plays a really nice ditty, which is just nice to hear. It kind of will be the basis for the next stage.
This is the theme of the next stage.
This is the final stage we're going into. We're going to come in here, and we're going to the end of the run now. We're in the end game.
Yeah, this is the last.
We saw the Thanos snap. We're in the end game now.
It's actually insanity. It's a really cool stage. Really, really technical stage, as well as just a really cool aesthetic. Everything's moving with the music. The enemies, the crushers, the steam, you name it, it's moving with the music.
So much, even the physics a lot. There are some really neat and well, actually, that's not true anymore. But some really neat mechanics.
Wow, that snipe.
That snipe.
Anything that shoots a projectile in this game will hit you, no matter the cause. No matter what wall it needs to shoot through, it will do it.
I'm not sure if Min has any practice in this particular strat, or if he'll planning on using it here. But there actually is ways to manipulate the
beat of
traps.
the room, right?
Yeah. If you pause or pull the map up on the beat of the song, you can actually keep traps in a position, which I've seen in a case or two, like this room, in order to skip a cycle, which is really interesting.
There's actually all sorts of crazy uses for that in this stage.
It also affects gravity, because you can actually do the same thing and run off of, I think, a horizontal crusher, and as long as you keep the beat, you actually won't fall. You can keep running to the right. It's really neat, and I've seen no applications for it yet, but I'd love to play with it.
I have something to mess with now next time.
Yeah. The second to last room is a really nice place to practice with it, but I haven't found a use for it yet.
So,
but the other
talking about some hard strats and fail it and end up costing you milestones of time.
Rhythm Bird, no.
This is called Rhythm Bird. We're not doing this strat because we don't hate our life.
Thank you. Divert.
There's a strat basically where you get a cloud step and you make sure that you maintain this cloud step when you rope dart on that hook, and you pretty much glide underneath this entire room and make it all the way to the other side. It's a big chunk of time that you save, but the setup is so scary. You gotta dodge the bird in the right way and climb the crusher properly, and it's a nightmare.
Please don't do that to me. I don't.
Not at the end of the run, please.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Almost fell free.
I don't. Yeah. The only time that crush was
That room
such
trolls me.
garbage.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily,
So
we're
it's
right
really neat
here.
to see here. The traps have stopped until it hits the surface.
I can honestly say that is the first time I have died there.
Yeah.
He said
That
the
is
thing for the marathon.
He said the thing with the stuff. Oh my god. It's actually really interesting. We saw that about a room early. We're gonna use that mechanic here to go into the shop, come out, and reset the song. Traps will be frozen for a few seconds, and allow us to get through a stage or a section really fast.
I was actually
You'll see
almost
that,
on the God cycle.
Yeah, it was really good. Just yeah, one more time. The music does really weird things. Like sometimes the beat you come on, this room affects the steam vents.
Yeah,
And
if you enter it on the first or third beat, like the frame of the first or third beat, they'll all either be on or off, and it's
Backslash?
awful.
Backslash. There it is.
Alright, we get a little-
In case y'all were
nice little
interested, see
sequence
about that
right
backslash.
We're supposed to be breaking the block and changing time, but
Proof that eating was expected.
yeah.
I was on the wrong cycle to try to skip all this.
And that is
That death kind of messed me up a little bit.
category. You'd be surprised the amount of ways you could die in this.
For anyone who's out
those-
there looking for a challenge run, I've actually done a few challenge runs of Music Box without rope dart.
Ooh, that sounds nigh impossible.
It is doable. It's absolutely doable, and it's a lot of fun. It's really hard.
I want to try that now. That sounds
Yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it's always fun to try
Wow.
to do like Post Room without Pogo or yeah.
yeah. I like Quosh Room without Pogo sometimes. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Some of
Every
the,
time I
especially the
do
right
Quosh
room.
Yeah, every time I do Quosh Room, I try to use it. And I'm always like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually trying to get that first cycle in this room is really difficult. It's a really weird combination of movement. Trying to cut a couple of corners and make sure we get the dodge the projectile coming from that guy. So there's a lot of things. So most runners don't get that every time. I don't remember the last run I got it.
Another cute little time waster. All right, we're gonna line up the
That's the frame
shuriken.
perfect shuriken. Hey!
Was great. I had a hard time with that one tile jump there. They kind of get right there on the edge.
Oh yeah.
I have a hard time with that
I
one.
feel like I have to keep going for it a couple of times.
Me too. So I've been getting it. My first try is great.
And another yeet room. Yay! Just kidding, I lied.
And here's another puzzle
I
room.
forgot about that one.
This is a puzzle room that will also kind of sequence break a bit. So we only do puzzles when we feel like it. All right, here's our song reset. Here's our last song reset here.
Shout out to Pippa.
Oh,
Do the
so
puzzle.
good. Just do the puzzle. The beat you come in on this room is important for skipping that cycle. So
Yeah,
you,
that crusher is very mean.
So
it usually
it's-
pushes you straight into the spikes.
as you get more comfortable with the level and the run, you actually can tell when walking in which beat you're on and know, nope, not making that. This room, by the way, if you're curious to do that horizontal thing I was talking about, one of these horizontal crushers, and doing the map beat off of them, makes for some very interesting behaviors.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Next time you get bored and play around with that, you'll see some cool stuff.
That room is really fun to optimize. Trying to get the optimal distance up the crushers.
Alright, so we're coming into the final boss, passing by our final save point right now, and we're going to go in to fight the Phantom, which, honestly, is a pretty fun fight to finish off the run with. It's fairly scripted. I think of it a bit like a blind fight in Link to the Past, right? Like, you have it starts off the same way, and if you pull up the same thing, you're pretty much going to get the same fight. After that, it could go a little bit...
Why did I do that?
And sometimes, you'll just keep throwing them. Okay, so he's going to land now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can control you with his orb positioning. The best thing that you want to have in there, which is kind of hard to set up, is you want to basically beat his orb to the wall, and then you slash it, and then it'll always hit him. But if we don't get that perfect movement, he'll just troll us and continuously play tennis.
You can try again?
Okay.
Oh, that was weird.
Oh, shout out to Levy.
No.
I know. Levy's volley was so cool.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Because that's no way you could do it. Just beat him as his own game. And you can see a really cool DBC style fight.
I was just about to say, for Chad that's unaware of that, you're basically just hitting the ball at lights.
Alright, so we got clones here. It's a bit about a 1.5 rotation before the clones will go away. You can do damage.
And then the last part of the fight where you're supposed to just constantly loop around it. You should use that hook on the top, but thank you, Rope Guard invincibility.
That's right. A huge abuse right here. So much damage.
Pump damage into them right there.
See, the boss is really low.
Let's say.
And that's the fight. Very good. Alright, so time will be coming up here in about a minute or so. We'll get through this cutscene. And we'll do a bit of mashing. We're going to do the thing. And then once the thing is done and the mask shatters, that's time.
It's time to do the thing, chat. We're in need of your A presses.
That's right. I'm going to get A's. We're going to do the thing.
Do we have time to squeeze a quick donation before?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine is dropped in 50 bamboo dollars. Saying shoutouts to Bamboo Crew. Thanks to everyone coming out and supporting a great cause. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Minus later.
Let's
Do
go.
the thing.
See, if this was like ESA, we'd have Skateman 22 and someone else lining up behind 2C while we're doing this.
Alright, here we go. He's charging it up. It's going to come down. And this is the last mashing session. So once it hits the mask, and...
Time.
Very good. Looks like you nailed it.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
that was...
stuff, Miinfin.
Yeah. What a run. My favorite run of this game, honestly. I know it's a little long. I love it. It's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, there's so many things that go on in this run, and it's the categories that you normally see. The 8-bit and the linear categories that are usually grinded out comparatively to something like this. You just don't get to appreciate all the crazy things that happened in the full run. So
Yeah.
really appreciate Miinfin for that awesome run. Thank you, Minus, for your amazing commentary duo. As always, you're amazing. And thank you once again, Strizer, for this amazing event. This has been phenomenal.
Absolutely.
You as well,
Thank you,
7D.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you as well,
Yeah,
7D.
y'all do great. See, and like I said, they get to talk about everything because if I try to talk and do this at the same time, look what happens. I'm just kidding. No, it's. But hey, I get to go get some sleep and then do it again in 7 hours. Woohoo!
Oh, that's right. I'll be right there
Yeah.
with you.
Wee.
Yeah.
That's right. I think we're all going to be there. All right. Good to know.
Well, thank y'all very much for coming out watching us. The Bamboo Crew hanging out. 2C, Strizer, Carter, Grandius. Who else did I see in here? Kame.
Yeah, lots of folks.
Scroll, work, please. Yeah. So it's everybody that's from the Messenger community that came out to watch this. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Any percent's been my baby for a long time, and yeah, I'll probably be even between breaks. I'll probably still run this a while, but I know we're probably coming close to my estimated time, so I know we got a run coming up after this. I want to say it's Dark Souls. I want to say it's.
I wanted to mention that we're actually back to what it was supposed to be. So it's going to be Pokemon.
Okay, I knew there was a flip, but obviously I've been doing this for the last 2 hours, so
We gotta flip the flip.
Forward note. But yeah, thanks again to all three of you once again. Great trio and great community and great game. I think it's one of the best speedruns to watch, even if you know nothing. It's just crazy to watch.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
But I am gonna go do some sleep percent, so I will pass it back over to everyone doing the thing here, and then y'all have a great night. Thanks for coming out, and let's see if we can. Let's see, what are we at on our way to 4,000 right now, right?
We're at 3,562.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing very well. So thank you. Everyone.
Let's see if we can crack 4,000 by the end of the events. Hopefully 5. Maybe we might go that far.
We can do it. Everybody just donate.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's play some.